Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Skratch. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today we're gonna go over my Platinum Arena reset for this week. We're gonna have a look at mistakes, at what we've done right. We're gonna discuss a couple of tips, strategies, kind of to help you understand the current meta a bit better. Now, I gotta admit it, I got a bit wrecked on my defense this time around. So yeah, it didn't went that amazing all around. We're gonna check the placement, of course, and we're going to have a look to see what sort of teams are being used in defense, what sort of offense teams are used. I'm going to show you some stats at the end of the video, guys. But before we move over to talk about all that, if you guys enjoy the music you hear in the video, I just want to let you know I partnered up with Soundstripe. They have an amazing music library. So if you're a content creator, a music enthusiast, just looking for some new music, definitely head over and check them out. The link will be in the description down below or in the pinned comment. Plus, I can save you 15% on checkout by using code SCRATCH. That being said, let's bring it on the screen, guys. So, I heard your feedback from last time. You don't want to see the black borders, so I adjusted that. Right here, I'm using Sifi, Rotos, and Marichka and Taras. Very powerful combo if you're going against teams like this where you don't need to have extremely powerful damage. You know, like, don't get me wrong, Taras and Rotos, they are very powerful damage dealers, but if you don't need to ignore a lot of defense and stuff like this, there are not a lot of tanky champions, Ursagas and the Nakrits and stuff like this on the opponent team. This is actually pretty good, you know. You could attack a similar team like this with Cupid's Venus if you have that available with Nakrit. It might take you a bit longer, or it might not. It might still be at the same pace. It's just that, yeah, the counter-attack, the shield, it just slows you down quite a bit, you know. And then you have, of course, Tormin, which revives, and he's still doing an amazing job at keeping you a few extra seconds in the fight, you know. You've seen that insane nuke from Taras. So we have 14 minutes left, guys. We're going to do quite a bit of a refreshing. We're trying to hit teams that we know we can win against 100%. You know, we want to avoid that chance of getting a loss, even though I got one loss on my offense, and that was on me because I've done a mistake there, but we're gonna get to that in a second. So right here, Inquisitor Shamael, amazing counter for Taras and his Fear, right? Then all the Termiter gets sent to the lead. That's why I have Warlord in the lead. That will push him to an even higher speed. Even without having the speed aura, it's kind of like taking him to the next level. Then with my Inquisitor Shamael, I'm always hitting the Marichka first, kind of like, and the biggest threat in there. And then I'm cleaning up with Baron and, of course, with the rest of the champions. Very important to annihilate Marichka first, you know, because that's key. Especially if there are multiple revivers in the same team. If you're leaving that Marichka alive and you're killing the other reviver, her passive is gonna come in play. But if you're eliminating the threat first, you're gonna be spot on, you know. Right here, we see an easy prey in terms of bombs. So we're going to go with a bomb team. We have Astrolid, Vizier, Warlord, and Arbiter. And yes, I did pull to Hanorach not a very long time ago. I still haven't changed her in this team, and I'm not planning to, just for the simple fact that I have my Vizier at +4, and I have him with full crit rate, crit damage, so he can clean up a bit if needed. You know, to Hanorach won't be doing so much damage, so I prefer to actually use Vizier here instead of her. So probably I'm not gonna change it in the team, you know. That was a very quick farm right there. I just wish we could find more teams like that. So again, we're browsing around. We see this one right here. We have Ursaga, Marichka, Taras. We have a Mortu Makab at +4 as well, which is pretty disgusting in there. So we're gonna give it a go here. If you only have one reviver in the team, the threat is not it's not as big, right? Like, yeah, if I'm gonna take down your Marichka, even though you have a 2-turn stone skin in there, it's not a problem. Once I'm taking her down, it's nobody else to revive the rest, you know. And if I'm not constantly targeting that Mortu, we should be fine, basically, you know. Right there, even though I went with Baron with a skill like that, the Reaper came out and ended that Ursaga, which was a bit unfortunate, because that's gonna end up in slowing us down, you know. It's gonna keep us in the fight a bit longer. So that Marichka right now has Strengthen, has a bit of shield on, but you know what? Nothing to worry about it. Check that out. 2 hits only. The third hit was not a requirement on there. We cleaned up that Marichka. That Ursaga came back to life. So right now we're kind of like doing a bit of cleanup. That Taras counter-attacked, hammered my Baron down, so it's gonna keep me in the fight a bit longer. You see, we're crossing the 1 minute mark, which is fine. It's still a decent time to farm nowadays, considering what sort of teams we're encountering in arena, guys, you know. But here we are, you see, all that, the slow animation and stuff is definitely keeping you a bit busier, I would say, you know. So again, we're gonna try to refresh and find the same opponents if we can. That's why you see me refreshing as often as I do, because I'm trying to see if I can pinch the same opponent again, you know. And if not, I'm gonna look around, browse a bit, and see if it's anything else similar that's gonna be a quick hit and run. A lot of these bottom teams, guys, I could potentially beat most of them. Most probably it's not going to be 100%. And then there's all these empowered champions at +4, 6-star awakening. It's hard for me to catch up with their speed. It's hard with me to catch up with the accuracy requirement and stuff like this if my champions are not kind of like on a playing field with 6-star awakening, empowered to +4. So it's getting a bit harder to beat the bottom teams. Still doable, but because it's not that 100% how I would like it, I'm trying to stay away, you know. Clear out of danger. Try to keep a clean streak, basically, you know. Again, we found the same enemy again. Easy prey for the bomb team. We're gonna go straight into it. Bang, 15 seconds. Very, very good farm like this. So I'm gonna probably try again and refresh and see if I'm gonna be able to find the same opponent again, or another opponent similar, something like that, you know. Right here, I think I am attacking Shiny, if I'm not mistaken. We're scrolling down, we're checking out what else we have on the list. Okay, we actually refreshed again in here. So yeah, I think we're actually gonna go for Shiny on this fight right here. We're gonna bring Rhonda in. I hope you guys probably noticed on the thumbnail. Rhonda, she's an absolute Rotos slayer. Now I don't have her empowered, unfortunately. I only have a 2-star awakening, and honestly, I don't have some of the best gear on her. I'm not gonna lie about that. Now, one thing that you guys are probably noticing here, you see we have that Rotos. He has the Ward of the Fallen. That doesn't get removed if you have a bolster set on. So if you're gonna hit the same opponent multiple times, as long as the bolster set is on, the Ward of the Fallen is not gonna fall off. If there is no bolster set, you're gonna be able to just pinch it with A1s from different champions and knock it down before. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well, guys, if you are not familiar with it. We kind of like looked at it quite a bit to see what's the difference, what's causing the thing to still stay on the champion, you know. There we go. I think he got resisted that Python in there, maybe, or he just recovered very, very quick, you know. So right here we've done a bit of a mistake, guys. We're supposed to kind of like go and kill that Rotos faster. He did have very good RNG, right? Like he just slayed my entire team just like that. So this is our loss for the day. But you know what? This was a lucky shot, and we're gonna go back at it. We're gonna take that sweet, precious revenge, take our points back, because we cannot just leave them like that. It's crazy. Rotos still brings so much RNG to the fight. That's why so many people are actually using him in defense. And yeah, I've done a guide recently on him, kind of like explaining the whole concept and what's the idea with him having fast, solid damage on him. And if you have him fast, he's gonna get to recover too. Luckily with Baron, we ignored the shield, so we already knew that Rotos is under 50% HP. And when we're gonna hit him, he's just gonna go down, you know. So here we are, 30+ seconds. Seems like Necro decided to go on a rampage in there as well, and now we're left with Python, and slowly we're gonna clean that Python up as well. My nukers are pretty slow, I would say. 44 seconds on this fight, so we're gonna check a bit the defense, see what's happening in here. I see Shiny actually attack me as well, and yeah, it's kind of like eye for an eye, I guess, you know. You see my defense got hammered quite a bit actually this reset, and yeah, that actually dropped me down quite a bit, you know. Right here, we are looking to see what else we have in the menu, what other things we have available. We're gonna go again, of course, with Shamael. It's just making it a bit safer with Taras. I could potentially overlap that Taras, so even if my Warlord will get feared and not use the A3, I could potentially overlap him before he takes his turn and lock them. But my main concern is if any of the other champions are faster, they're gonna get to use their buffs if they're gonna cut my overlap with Warlord, and that's gonna slow me down, you know. So I prefer to have Shamael on. He deals pretty good damage. Right there, we decided to go with the A1 because we knew that the champions didn't took a turn, and we're gonna have a very high chance at hitting on their reaction, and we completely want to avoid that. We don't want to waste a good skill, which we know that is gonna melt like butter if we don't hit the reaction, you know. So we're letting them go one more round, and that's when we're gonna actually get to do the cleanup. Yes, Ultimate Dead Knight is in there pretty slow on a Stone Skin set, but the good part about Shamael is that 3 hits, one of it is gonna go to Dead Knight, the other 2 are gonna clean up the mess. Basically, they're gonna kill the target regardless who it is. Marichka or whatever you guys have in there is still gonna get wrecked by Shamael. When you have 4 buffs on him, he's gonna get to ignore 100% of the target's defense. That makes him great because he doesn't need to have Savage. You see, I have him on Stone Skin. Mainly, I have him on Stone Skin for the simple fact that when I'm hitting Marichka, Taras counterattacks, right? And he hits on my Stone Skin, he's not gonna kill my Shamael. And if I need to do a small cleanup with the A1 from Shamael, when he's gonna take his next turn, he's gonna be up and ready to do the job, basically, you know? So again, we're having a quick look to see if we need to change something. We changed a bit the defense. I feel like I changed it a few times, then it improved a bit. It kind of like stopped all these crazy Yumeko farms, because I gotta say, Yumeko is probably one of the most OP champions in the game at the moment, in the current meta at least. So we're going for Shiny here again. Yumeko, she doesn't need immunity, right? She has the Veil and the passive, which makes her immune to debuffs. Then she has the accuracy aura, which is huge, and you can give her as much accuracy and speed as possible, guys. And she's just so freaking powerful against countering resistance teams and pretty much everything else that's left out there. She is definitely a GOAT. So again, we're going for that Rotos first, always starting with Ronda's A2, which is very powerful against other champions. Like if you want to lock a passive or stuff, it's definitely doable. The only thing is, if they have Stone Skin, it's not really gonna be useful for you, you know. I think this might take us a bit longer because again, that champion seems like it got resisted, Pythian, and I really think that was just more of a 3%, you know. So we managed to kill that Rotos again, the main threat in the team, right? So once he's down, it's pretty much a game over for this team. But because we got 3%ed on that Pythian, seems like we're just gonna be a bit longer in the fight because we gotta do the cleanup now, you know. Lock the passive, you see, very good example with Ronda, you know. Lock passive, lock skills, and get ready to rumble, basically. So we got this in. What do we have? Over 1 minute. It did slow us down quite a bit, getting that 3% chance. I wish that would not exist in the game, man. It's just so annoying. So we have 2 minutes left. We're gonna do a bit of a refresh, see if we find anything else juicy in here that can just get smacked. A lot of times I'm doing the mistake of refreshing too fast, looking for the exact same person, you know, to go back in again. And what's happening is that I'm missing easier opponents. So I always see it when I'm doing the video. I'm always saying like, damn, I could have attacked that guy, such an easy farm. But then I'm so focused on finding the same person again that I'm just kind of like skipping the rest. I'm just not seeing them anymore, you know. So I explained to you last time as well when I showed you Ronda. You don't want to have Ronda too fast because you want that Rotos to take his turn before your Ronda. Now, a lot of times with Warlord, what's going to happen is that you're going to drop the turn meter on them. And that's unfortunate. You're going to kind of like have to wait for him to take his turn. If not, it's a very high chance for you to hit on reaction and not kill him and not do enough damage to drop him under the 50% HP because of all the buffs he has from Necret, Ward of the Fallen and stuff. So that's definitely gonna put you in a pretty bad spot. So you wanna pay attention to that, you know. Much better run this time around against Shiny here. I think we hit him like 4 or 5 times. We did got that one loss, which was pretty unfortunate though. But hey, you gotta pay the price to the RNG Jesus every now and then. Again, we're checking it out a bit. That first team was actually a very easy prey that we just missed in there, and there are quite a few more down the list here if we're just paying more attention. 45 seconds. Again, we're looking to see if we can find somebody that's gonna give us some juicy points or something that's gonna be a quick farm. Again, we're gonna go for shiny. I kind of like knew it that I'm not gonna get it in time. I've seen 35 seconds. Are we gonna get this fight in time? The best time we had on farming him was 40 seconds or 44 seconds. So I knew that this might not end up good in terms of time, you know. So we still gave it a go just in case, you know, if we didn't proc the reaction or something that was gonna allow us to just get it down faster, you know. But yeah, here we are. I feel like 5 more seconds and we kind of like passed the deadline, you know, pretty much. If I would make a bit faster, if I would build my nukers a bit faster, sorry, I kind of like forgot what I was gonna say. I could allow them to rotate a bit more often and clear the rest faster, but it's just the risk of hitting on reaction all the time, and which I'm kind of like trying to avoid, and I would strongly suggest you to keep that in mind as well. But here we are, guys. Ended. We got 1 victory in right before. We got quite a few losses on defense. I'm actually gonna show you that now. I gotta say my defense got hammered. Like, look at that. Arbiter, +4 Yumeko, +4 Arbiter, Yumeko lead, Yumeko. Pretty much. That's kind of like how it went. You know, I did had a resistance lead, if I'm not mistaken. So they kind of like knocked me down with that increased accuracy aura from Yumeko, you know. But it is what it is, guys. The offense went pretty good, I would say. We did have that 1 loss, which was unfortunate, but other than that, it didn't went too bad, you know. Pretty decent farming time, so pretty satisfied with that. And the moment of truth, you gotta wait quite a bit for the refresh. Now it feels like it's taking them longer and longer to refresh the clan boss, to refresh the arena, pretty much everything else, you know. So here we are. Today's Skratch. Here we are today. And we finished number 39 this reset, guys. We got our Void Shard, which is what matters. My Yumeko is still hiding in that shard, probably. Not very satisfied with the placement, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, but considering that my defense got hammered, you guys saw all the losses in there. And funny enough, I had a very similar thing last week. I had a similar defense, and the win rate was the other way around. So it's a lot of RNG as well on defense. You guys know how it is. This week you might do crazy wins with the same defense. Next week you might do crazy losses, or the other way around. But yeah, RNG Jesus needs to be on your side as well. So this was the placement. This was my arena push for this week, guys. Hopefully you learned a couple of new things if you weren't familiar with everything. And I feel like, yeah, I'm showing you constantly the same champs. I'm not really changing the build so often on my offense team unless I need to do something particular. Now, I'm not really attacking Uko teams anymore, so one thing that I've done was to drop the speed on my Duchess, and this was just because I've tested a lot of teams with a couple, and I felt like it's much better to drop her speed down. So she's on a 2-turn stone skin, and she's at 238 speed. I feel like she's on a very sweet spot. Yeah, I could probably add 5 to 10 more speed and still be in the right threshold where I want to be, but I feel like for the moment, I'll keep her like this. So this is the Duchess that I mainly used. Masteries, we have a defense and support tree. How I mentioned, if you are planning to attack a lot of Uko teams, probably you want to have your Duchess around 300 speed, just to make sure she gets to buff your nukers before Uko is gonna use that A1 if you lock them, you know, because it's gonna be very important. Now, of course, I'm gonna show you the superstar of the show again. Shamael still doing an amazing job. I have 2 of them built, one of them faster, one of them slower. Sometimes if that Marichka has a 2-turn stone skin, I'm gonna use the slower one. If she doesn't, I'm gonna use the faster one, clean up quick, then clean up with Baron after, and that's gonna be a super quick farm. But if it's not, I'm gonna have to go with a slower one. So this is the faster one. You see stone skin and a broken set. I went with a broken set because I follow the Ascension, you know, what gives me crit damage, what gives me attack. So that's the reason why I went like this. Total stats, 6.9k attack, 292 crit damage, 160 speed, full crit rate. And it's all about the passive, guys. All about that A2. Kind of like spotlighted him in the video from last week, if I'm not mistaken. This is my second one, which is the slower, you see. Very big difference in speed. 111 speed. 7.2k attack, almost 299 crit damage, and again stone skin set and a crit damage, the exact same sort of masteries. Helm Smasher is mainly for the A1 guys, and if I don't have enough buffs on him when he's using the A2, that can happen as well every now and then. And what other champions we used? Ronda. We gotta show Ronda because Ronda was the superstar of the show. She was used pretty much quite a bit in on this reset against Rotos teams and stuff like that. How you can see, I have 5-star gloves on it. 5-star gloves, absolutely ridiculous, but hey, they ascended well, and I feel like the gloves are my weakest point in terms of gear on my account. So we had to use these gloves. They had the right things, and with Ascension they became 6-star, more or less, I would say, with a crit damage. Then the banner is pretty bad on her, unfortunately. Like, check that out. I really need a better banner. It just doesn't seem to drop. Either it rolls me triple speed or it rolls me something else. The attack is very weak on the banner. And Amulet the same. I think it's only a 1 roll on the flat attack. So it's a lot of work to improve Ronda. But total stats, 7.2k attack. I do have a 2-star blessing. She's not empowered. 178 speed, 102 crit rate, 278 crit damage, and that is Savage and Cruel. The main reason why I have the 5-star gloves is because I want to use a Cruel next to that Savage, you know, and this skill is super good at dealing with Rotos and other champions if you need to lock their passives. Plus, of course, it seems like she has Giant Slayer, and that is completely my bad, because I would definitely suggest you to take Helm Smasher as tier 6. Seems like, yeah, I could definitely do some work on my Ronda. Helm Smasher should be the way to go for. For some reason, I have this, and I remember why was the Fire Knight challenge, guys, the Infinite Shield Maiden challenge, and I forgot to change her masteries. I paid the price. That was all for this video, guys. Much love. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.